Hi. So I thought I would do a quick video to talk about a really bizarre incident that occurred last night. So my wife and I went downtown to pay our respects to Mrs. Carter at the Carter Center. So we did like most non VIPs. We parked our car at St. Luke's Church right on Peachtree, and we loved the fact that that paid lot was completely free. So we parked the car. They had these buses, like these charter buses that were shuttling back and forth between the church and the Carter Center. So we got on the bus without incident. And as soon as we got to the Carter Center, I guess it was maybe about a 10-minute ride. The Secret Service agent, so the bus driver pulled into Carter Center, and apparently the agent informed the driver that he needed to go around to the other entrance, that they were not boarding, they were not accepting any guest or anyone at that particular spot. So no problem. We left out of the Carter Center. I think we were in the parking lot. And before we knew it, we started to make several circles around between Freedom Parkway, Ponce, Highland, North Avenue, and then back again. Now this started about 6:45 last night, and we continue to go in circles. So Freedom Parkway, as you approach the Carter Center on every from both sides was blocked. So the second time we attempted to enter closer to Manuel's Tavern. So if you know where, I guess close to what Highland and Freedom Parkway. And I guess it was a Secret Service at that location told us that we needed to go to Freedom Parkway. So the bus driver made the long way around, which I believe he went all the way down Highland, and then turned. Where did he turn? Can't remember exactly where he turned, but he went down the opposite, below Freedom Parkway. And this is where it gets interesting. So if you know where on Freedom Parkway, where like there's the fork right at the Carter Center, you have the fork, the right fork that goes straight to, I guess like Moreland Avenue, and then the left fork that goes to Ponce. Well, the right fork was blocked, and it had like a Atlanta police car. It actually had like another van that was parked, like blocking the intersection, so that no one could accidentally like take that road at all. So we stopped, and the agent wanted to know who we were and everything. I mean, he wasn't asking us, he was asking the driver. And so he asked the driver specifically for a play card. And apparently all the charter buses had identifying information on the front, like on the front window, that said something like Carter Center, Carter Guest, or something of that nature. This particular bus did not have that. And without this, the Secret Service agent notified the driver that he could not allow the bus to come into the Carter Center. So not only that, by this point, we were sitting in the front of the bus, and I think a few of us wanted to know, could we get off the bus and walk up to the Carter Center? The Secret Service agent said he could not take responsibility for that at all. So at that point, I'm calling the TV stations because this was so bizarre. I mean, somebody had to know about what was happening. So I called Channel 2, called their newsroom, reported on what was happening. Then I called 46 or Atlanta News First. And by this point, the driver had contacted, I guess, his supervisor, and she wanted to speak to the Secret Service agent in charge. And her resolution of the situation, she wanted to know if they could send a text with their authorization. Would that fly? And the Secret Service agent said no. They needed a physical, something physical, like a physical sign that would go in the front, like in the front window. So until all of this gets worked out, we're stuck on this bus. Now, at this point, I think everybody is like 40 people on this bus, and we're trying to figure out, okay, I think majority of people were feeling, especially me, let's just take us back to the church. I mean, I'm sure Mrs. Carter would certainly appreciate the fact that we made an attempt to pay our respects. Then I did a Facebook Live because I wanted to document the situation as it was occurring in real time. Right after my live broadcast ended, and I guess it was about maybe a course of about 10 or 15 minutes, another bus showed up with the paperwork that we needed. And everybody applauded, and we were able to finally gain interest in the Carter Center. But this was completely and utterly ridiculous for a number of reasons. Number one, when we left St. Luke's Church, I distinctly recall there being a bus, a charter bus, that pulled up as we were leaving. I estimate that while we were circling the Carter Center, that bus had time enough to get to the Carter Center. Those people were able to get off the bus, go inside the Carter Center, pay their respects, get back on the bus, and be shopping for groceries back at home or whatever. Okay. So I don't know if this happened to any other buses. And we certainly didn't see any. What was really strange is we didn't see any other buses that were out. But it was about maybe 8:30 or so, close to 9 o'clock by the time we actually got in the Carter Center and was able to they graciously had the museum portion open so you could view like the exhibits, and then at the end of the museum, then you saw where the two Georgia State troopers were standing guard over the casket, and that was right by the exit door. So I just felt like that this needs to be documented because I don't think anybody's ever experienced anything quite like this. And it would have been, it probably would, I certainly appreciate the hard work of the Secret Service because they're only doing what they're tasked to do. and certainly mindful of whatever security protocols that they have to operate on. Uh, However, someone at some level, and I'm thinking the bus company, could have, should have made some kind of explanation to all of the people on the bus. Those of us who were sitting up near, closer to the front, we could hear and get a sense as to what was happening. People that were in the back, they really didn't know what was going on. The only thing that they knew was the fact that this bus was not moving. They were not letting us off. What was going on? And they wanted answers, and I certainly understood that. So this was just very, very bizarre. Because it worked itself out, I doubt if any of the TV stations did anything with it. But I want to make sure that this is documented because it was just so bizarre. I mean, here we are on a charter bus circling the Ponce Highland neighborhood in Atlanta, from Freedom Parkway to Ponce, making the right turn right there at Plaza Theater, at the Majestic, going right past Manuals. And then I think one time the driver turned right on North Avenue before you get to Manuals. But I think that we did about maybe 4 or 5 complete loops around the Carter Center. And because the Freedom Parkway was blocked, this big charter bus had to take the long route around a lot of these little side streets. So of course, that took even longer. And again, I just feel like when you are, people's time is valuable. And you cannot credit back people's time. I don't know why is it that this bus did not have this play card in place, but it seemed like there was a communication breakdown. And the other thing I noticed is that there were multiple bus companies that were providing shuttle service between St. Luke's Church and the Carter Center. So this was not the responsibility of one particular charter bus company. So I hope that nothing like this ever happens to anybody else, because you never know when you might have to be on a charter bus, and when the Secret Service tells you that you have to do certain stuff, then you have to comply. And so we certainly applaud and salute all of the hardworking members of law enforcement, Atlanta police. I think we saw Georgia State troopers that were around, and Secret Service, but the fact that there was no play card, no documentation, and we were just stranded. We were captives. I mean, quite literally, when the Secret Service agent told us that we could not even get off the bus, which we completely understood. I think some of us, there was a lady that was sitting across the aisle from me that I think she said out loud, well, what would happen if we just got off the bus? I wasn't going to try to find out. Those instructions were made clear, and we were going to follow those instructions. So, but at any rate, everything worked out. We were able to go get in and get out. When we took the charter bus back to St. Luke's Church, we got there within 10 minutes. And that's how long it should have taken to start with. Now, once we got into the Carter Center, there were so many greeters saying thank you for coming, welcome. And I was tempted to kind of unload on some of them, not in a negative or derogatory way, but just kind of de-stress. Like, folks, we have just been through an ordeal. But I mean, we got in, and that's the important thing. But I just thought it would be important to properly document this while it's still fresh. And I hope that nothing like this ever happens to anyone else. Because, and the other reason why I want to document it is because before you know it, this little time starts to intervene and people start to forget about stuff like this. And it's almost like it never happened. So I doubt, like I said, the TV stations will, I doubt if they reported on it, because that was only a 1-day thing just for last night. The service today at Glenn Memorial Church near Emory's campus. And then I think by now the motorcade headed back to Sumter County. I think they're probably getting on 75 if they haven't already. Just want to note for the record. All right. So hope everybody is healthy and safe, and stay tuned because we'll have more.